What's up, gamers? Welcome to Articulate, the podcast where I'm anything but. I'm doing the minutia. Minutia? I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, yeah, last week's two-parter, I talked about the minutia of content creation, I think. And today, I have been doing all the stuff and things. So much so that it's 12:36 a.m. I've been up since 5 in the morning. This sucks. I don't know why I'm doing this today. It's fully Monday. I do not have to be recording this right now, but I am, because the more you allow yourself to procrastinate, the more you will procrastinate. I honestly don't know where that was going. I was like, this sounds like it's going to be inspirational, and then it was kind of. I don't know, dude. It's that cliche life is about momentum thing that is 1,000,000,000% true, unfortunately. This is a messed up thing to say, but sometimes, if you have depression, the cure is, have you ever tried not being depressed? You know what I mean? Which is a thing that people joke about, and they're like, have you tried not being sad? Have you tried just not having a nervous breakdown or whatever? Don't have a panic attack? You know, all that stupid stuff. But legitimately, you can kind of use it as a crutch, because I'm always complaining about having depression and not being good at habits. And I don't know if I'm complaining about this stuff. I'm just sort of saying that this is a thing that I do. And I'm very mad at myself, and I very much hate myself a lot of the time. So maybe I'm not really using it as a crutch, but the fact that I am like, I have depression, I'm sort of allowing myself to be depressed more, which is interesting. But yeah, new year, new me, which I've taken to heart apparently, because I've been working out pretty consistently, which I've kind of been doing for like a few months now, like at least semi-consistently. So I don't know, that's fine, that's cool. What am I talking about though? Yeah, I do not know what's going on. Low-key, it might just be me getting a normal amount of sleep and succumbing to the new year, new me thing that I was just talking about. But I organized my notes app a little bit. I like deleted some notes. I made a new folder of shit that I will be uploading eventually, because I have been going so hard on Instagram and the text apps. You know, I'm like becoming a content creator in an actual sense, and like doing all the stupid things, the minutia, as I called it. You know, all the lame, weird stuff, and becoming an Insta girly and all that. So yeah, I did all that. I made a new folder so that it's super easy for me to just move all the notes, where I just jotted down randomly, post this thing before you forget, which is super helpful. And weirdly today, there were so many things that I jotted down, and like photos that I took, and I like came up with a caption in my notes app. So that, I don't know if you should be posting a bunch of times a day. I guess I don't have enough content or stuff going on in my life to just post a bunch whenever it comes to me. So I'm kind of saving it so I can at least do it daily. I don't know about daily, but you know, I'm trying to hoard everything so that I can slowly post stuff. Whereas instead of being like, oh, let me take this photo and upload it to Instagram, you know? Why am I gesturing right here? I thought I learned that, like, that's, the camera's right there. It's pointing at me. Do not gesture anywhere over here, because that's where the sensor bar is. I'm supposed to gesture like over here or up here. I don't know if that's in frame. I'm pretty positive it is. There's like, I can kind of see in my TV, it's like all the way up here. I don't even know if I'm reaching the top of frame by doing that. But yeah, Instagram text stuff. Hang on, there was one more thing, I think. I don't think there was. I think, yeah, today I came up with a bunch of text stuff as well. I don't know why today a bunch of stuff just kept happening. I'm like, oh, I could totally take a picture of this and make a joke about it, or just do this silly little thing. And also I finished a sort of New Year's thing, not New Year's thing, but it's like, there was part of this joke that I came up with a little while ago. Like I have some tabs in my freaking browser here of drawing references, and I made a text post about this the other day, which is cool. I don't fucking know what to call them. I just keep calling them text posts, because I'm posting the same thing across the different text apps. Like there's Threads and there's Blue Sky. There isn't X or Twitter or whatever, because I deleted my account because that place wasn't fun at all. So I'm gonna just keep calling them text posts or something. I don't know. I'm gonna make a text post later about this. You know, let me make a note right here, kind of, which is what I've been doing. I don't know why I'm afraid I like have dementia or something. I don't know about that. I think I'm just leaning into quite possibly having ADHD. And so I've been writing so many ideas down, because I think it is slightly getting to me, the fact that I might not be able to remember every single thing that I've ever thought of, you know? And if you think you have a good memory, start live streaming or start doing YouTube, because you will just be yapping, and then you'll click on one of your videos or VODs or whatever, and you can skip to a random part, and you're like, when the hell did I say this? That's crazy. That's insane. Didn't know I made that public information. But yeah, on the topic of potential ADHD and writing stuff down, I've done this thing so that it doesn't feel like in my brain I'm doing 5 trillion different projects at once and like bouncing between them and not getting anything done and quite possibly forgetting about some of them. I've just made a list in my notes app. I'm like, oh, what's some stuff that I want to do? It used to be today, but that was several days ago. I wrote down this whole thing and I'm like, I'm gonna do all these different things today. And then turns out you can't just make a like quick video thing with a bunch of sound design and visuals and stuff. So I was talking about that New Year's thing. It's a silly little YouTube short or whatever. I'll link to it in the comments because it's really funny. It's really cool. It's starting off the new year, starting off 2026 on a good foot. And by making a viral meme, I came up with this idea forever ago. And then I was like, oh, it's gonna be the new year. I can add on the element of being like starting off 2026 like this. I don't even remember what the original joke was. It was just like making a viral meme or something. And then it was the picture. And then I started making it. And then I was like, oh, this could be like a short thing with like sound design and cool stuff and super janky. And so I did that. It was gonna be a lot more sketchy and whatnot, as in like in a sketchbook and like ink and spooky. But then I was like, oh, if it's gonna be a video, let's do actually like creepy and like grimy is the word I would use to describe it, and like blend modes and shit. So yeah, I made that, which I had in my little to-do list thing that I made several days ago. And shit just takes forever. I truly wish there wasn't, or I wish there were like 5 trillion hours in a day. And it's really, really unfortunate that there aren't. Because it's nearly 1 a.m. and I'm gonna stream after this because I'm like, I can't put off stream because I'm tired. I do this so many times, but I did this just before this. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do a podcast, I'm gonna do this project and then this thing, and then I'm gonna stream. And then I get tired and I'm like, oh, actually, I'm just gonna go to sleep and not do any of that. And so I was like coming downstairs to my room and I was like, oh, what if I didn't do the stream? I just filmed a little podcast and then went to sleep. And granted, sometimes it's cool to be like, oh, I need like mental health, I need a good amount of sleep. As I said at the beginning of this, that I'm probably doing everything good because of how much like a good amount of sleep I'm getting. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta power through it and do stuff. Have you ever tried not being depressed type shit? So yeah, lots of cool stuff. This doesn't need to be super long. It's only 11.5 minutes. Actually, I could for quite a bit longer, I suppose. Not quite a bit, but at least a few minutes, you know? My dogs are out, dude. I was like, I don't even want to put on all this stupid shit that I put on anyway, but I don't want to wear socks even. I don't want to be like weird and uncomfortable, so I just put my little feet under the blanket here. Hopefully they're not peeking out. Maybe a little sneak peek of my foot. I'm kidding. Not to like try to censor my feet. That's kind of weird when people censor their feet, truly, because like I get the foot fetish thing is like super popular. I don't know why I said popular. It's like it's a common thing that happens. So people are like, oh, censor your feet. And I guess it is also popular, like people know about it, and so they're always censoring their feet and whatnot. But like the kind of people who censor their feet in like an Instagram post will literally like unintentionally post an armpit picture later or a picture of their face or something, you know? Like there's so many weird fetishes in the world, and like I was gonna say, by being hot, you're like, I don't know, someone's gonna find that attractive, dude. You don't even have to be hot. You're popping boners just by existing, bro, which I think is something that I've said before. I'm like nearly positive, but I'm gonna just say it again here. Okay, so everyone should be like me, a skinless, faceless YouTuber. When I do eventually expose my skin, I will post feet pictures. Low-key, I've been thinking that I will post my skin a lot sooner than I thought. But then I'm thinking about it in my brain. I feel like this year might go by kind of fast because I was watching several YouTube videos about Darksiders because it's my favorite game. Darksiders 1 and 2 are my one singular game that are my favorite. And I was reminded of the 4th game and I was like, oh, way into the future when I'm like a good YouTuber and maybe kind of popular, maybe. I don't know, I said maybe twice. It's because there's a chance that I'm never going to be popular. Maybe not. There isn't a chance that I won't build a community, you know? At the very least. So when I have eyeballs on top of my body, then I will make a series playing my favorite games, you know, Darksiders and Darksiders 2. And maybe unfortunately playing my least favorite game, Darksiders 3. But then I was reminded of the 4th game existing and I was like, oh shit, that's gonna be the single greatest moment in my entire life when that 4th game comes out. So maybe I should build up to it and then play the 1st and the 2nd one soon, maybe this year. And so I was like, shit, if I'm constantly editing and uploading videos of PS3 games, then this year's gonna go by like crazy, because the first lore thing that I was supposed to do ages ago, like a month or 2 ago, was gonna be sort of an announcement type thing that I'm gonna start playing PS3 games on my old school PS3. I'm like, oh, this is my childhood, watch me play these games. And then I'm like thinking in my brain, it's gonna be so cool. This year's gonna be so awesome because I think I'm gonna be streaming a ton playing those games, editing those, releasing the videos of games from my childhood, dude. I literally can't wait. It's gonna be so awesome. I'm gonna have to rearrange my room slightly, but that was kind of coming anyway. Lots of cool stuff coming in 2026, which is something I've been saying just sort of out of hopes, but now I'm like kind of forming a plan. I almost said formulating a plan. I think that's a term that I can say. I don't know. Is that a word? Yeah, I'm actually formulating a plan now. Lots of cool stuff legitimately coming in 2026, but I think there were many other things that I was going to say. I was going to do a drawing this one, but I'm tired. I don't know what to draw. I'm not really that inspired to do a stupid little drawing. So maybe next week, maybe the week after that, maybe never. But I'm going to make a new YouTube banner thing. That's some minutia. That's pretty crazy. Also, this feels slightly dense, so I'm going to maybe end it here. One last thing. I've been looking back thinking like some of my first videos are like really short, but because I remember I would record for an entire hour because that's what I thought would be a good idea at the very beginning, even though editing an hour of footage was insane. So it's weird that they're all like 15 to 30 minutes. But then I remembered that I was really, really bad at talking at that point. And so it's really absurd that all my stuff has just become more dense. Like now if I record for an hour, I cut down a bunch of stuff. I add like 50,000 more jokes and it's 50 minutes long. I feel like cut out 10 minutes of footage instead of the usual like chopping in half or even more. So that's really cool and interesting. I legitimately feel so excited to be a content creator, which is something that I've said before, I'm pretty sure, probably in the last 2 episodes. But I am a content creator now. I'm not becoming one. I'm not aimlessly doing stupid shit on the internet. I'm like, I have a plan this year. Okay, I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna do cool stuff because consistency is key. And I don't know if I'm gonna be actively believing in that while working on stuff while moving throughout the year, but I have to just at least keep that in the back of my head and just like mindlessly edit for hours or something because consistency truly is key. And having a shitty edit is kind of insane for you to be able to go back and do good stuff with your edit. Because if you're not feeling like editing, if you're feeling not motivated, you're like, oh, this sucks, this is boring, I hate this, I'm not going to do it, then just try your absolute hardest to turn your brain off and edit, which seems counterintuitive, but like if you're doing horrible editing and you're just cutting out like shit in between audio, you know, just editing to the sound and whatnot, then at a later date, when you are feeling like editing and doing a bunch of jokes and funny stuff, or even when you're not, even the next time you come back to it with a shitty mindset, it's so much easier to see all the flaws and shit that you've done from the last time, as opposed to a whole entire fucking raw video file where you're like, this is a mountain of work. What the fuck am I supposed to do here? So yeah. It's weird that getting into the content creator mindset, I've like trained my brain to be a YouTuber, and now I said I was tired and this sucks, I don't want to be here, but I am here and my brain is just sort of doing shit and my eyes feel heavy, but they feel more open, which is slightly bizarre. There just is a content creator default that I sort of slide into now, and I could just go for hours on end, which maybe is a live streamer thing actually, because I do that a lot when live streaming. When I'm sleep deprived, then I just go for 5 hours for no reason, and then at the very end I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually like insanely tired, and I like click on a YouTube video and I watch the first 30 seconds and then I wake up because I fell asleep or whatever. Yeah, I've started too many tangents to try to end them all, so maybe I said something cool. Maybe you can pick out little bits and pieces from this and leave a comment, I suppose.